a racist organization. We are here today to show that, okay? We are standing with Black Preborn Lives Matter. This is government censorship. If we were writing Black Lives Matter, we would not be in this position.
Can you guys just walk through again what you're going to be doing today?
We are simply sidewalk chalking.
That is it. We do it every Saturday. I'm a part of a group of dedicated folks that sidewalk chalk regularly here. And this is our constitutional right. This is public property. This is not Planned Parenthood's America anymore. This is pro-life America. We are the pro-life generation, and we will abolish abortion in our lifetime.
Yeah. All right. So you're right. All right. Hi, I'm Rachel. Were you born here?
We're not going to get that far.
What are you right? Wait, what are you?
This is our constitutional right. We do this every Saturday.
Hey folks, I need to tell you now that if you continue talking, you're going to be placed under arrest for defacing property.
We do this every Saturday.
Okay, I've given you your warning. You understand that, right? If you continue talking, you're going to be placed under arrest. Okay. You have these two people.
You know they do this every Saturday, right?
Every Saturday. This is completely public property.
I majored in political science. This is public property.
Every Saturday, people are here talking.
This
and
is
you're
government
taking somebody,
censorship.
some people, and arresting them because they are simply putting Black preborn lives matter. You gotta be joking. You gotta be absolutely joking that you would take young people that are simply putting on a sidewalk chalk that they are standing for preborn Black lives. You absolutely have to be joking. We're standing in front of an abortuary where they kill children.
Sir, stay on the sidewalk, please. Stay on the sidewalk, please.
To the police department because they're simply putting chalk on the sidewalk. This is absolutely absurd.
My 9-year-old cousin.
That the DC police will stand in front of a place
My 9-year-old cousin is actually
Black children and you're taking
her
people to prison, to jail, just because they're putting on a sidewalk Black preborn lives matter. This is absurd. This is the city where Frederick Douglass lived. You gotta be joking.
Public property. Public sidewalk.
Black preborn lives matter. We do this every Saturday. Sidewalk council. I will be right back out here next Saturday. Hoping to build a
I did the exact thing with a different message.
Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter.
Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives matter.
Black preborn lives matter. Black preborn lives
Sir,
matter.
could you explain, we're live right now at Breitbart. Could you just explain what just happened?
Yes. So we are peacefully gathered here in front of Planned Parenthood in Washington, D.C., and we have students and African American protesters that simply have gathered, and we began to write on the sidewalk with chalk, as many of these young people do all the time, Black preborn lives matter. And all of a sudden, they've committed a crime. They do this every week. I come down here routinely to pray. I see people, and they've never arrested anybody before, but today they're arresting people just because we have decided to peaceably assemble and to stand for Black preborn lives. And so what we're saying today, in the spirit of Frederick Douglass, who was a great abolitionist, there's a new movement of abolitionists. This isn't the abolition of slavery, but this is the abolition of what we know as the greatest civil rights struggle in our culture today, and that is for preborn lives. And so we're going to stand here today, and we've discussed this. Since they're descending upon us and not allowing us to do what we should be able to do peaceably, then we're actually going to march. And if anybody is watching, we're going to gather at 9:30 behind the Supreme Court at Frederick Douglass Court in Northeast DC. It's a 22-minute march. We're going to march from Frederick Douglass Court back to here and have the press conference as scheduled because Students for Life, the Frederick Douglass Foundation, and other fantastic organizations believe that black preborn lives matter. So if you are in the Washington, D.C. area and you can meet us behind the Supreme Court at Frederick Douglass Court at 9:30, we're going to march from there. It's only about 1 mile, march from there to here to be able to stand for black preborn lives.
Public sidewalk. We do this every Saturday.
They're controlling you. They're not just controlling you. I'm not going to let them control me. They're controlling you.
Ma'am, please stay back on the sidewalk.
Love you too, buddy. Love you guys. This is fun. Oh, girl.
Black preborn lives matter. And I have my First Amendment right. This reason is the First Amendment to token today. And I'm being arrested for simply telling that your life matters and my life
Maybe some of them.
half an hour before
Yeah. No, I mean once they leave. Yeah. Yeah, that one sequence is really popular. Where he comes over and arrests him and then
It's planned out. They were gonna do that so they can get arrested. It's planned out. They'll be
Hey guys, Michelle Hendrickson with Students for Life. What you just saw was that the police arrested one of our students and staff members for sidewalk chalk. The very same chalk that my children use here, and they were trying to write Black Preborn Lives Matter. And for whatever reason, that message was triggering today to the point of arresting them. So our team is obviously going to help them out as much as we can. And we are moving on with our event today. That is not going to stop us. So we've got the actual phrase Black Preborn Lives Matter spelled out on poster board now. We're going to march from the Frederick Douglass Foundation to here. And then we're going to have our press conference later. So if anything, that this just added some fuel to our fire. And we're going to see more and more, hopefully even across the country, people inspired to be going out and painting, because it is your right to do so, and sidewalk chalking Black Preborn Lives Matter. Thank you.
What law did you guys break, or did a couple of these students? I don't know. Are they young? Are they students, or what's the deal here?
We've got.
We'll wait for this truck to go by. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we do have one of our college students who was trying to sidewalk chalk. So we'll let it slide. So we have our student who was sidewalk chalking, and then one of our staff members. They claimed that it was private sidewalk. That is not the case. And they claimed that it was defacing public or defacing property, right? Again, it's sidewalk chalk, it's washable, so that's not the case.
And what would be your message to protesters or organizers of Black Lives Matter?
Right, we absolutely have to be consistent in our messaging, right? If Black lives really matter and we are against violence on Black people, then we need to look at the source right here, and it's Planned Parenthood, because they have had their racist roots from their beginning with Margaret Sanger, who we know was a eugenicist who set out in what she did to target minorities and target the Black population, and we know that their racism exists today. And so the Black Lives Matter movement needs to face that. They need to pay attention to that, and that's really why we're here today. We know so many people across the country already understand that, and so I would encourage pro-life leaders across the country to do a similar event. You know, Students for Life, we plan to go out across the country and have up more messages like this. We are not backing down.
And if you had a message to send to the Democrats on behalf of your organization, what would you say to them?
You know what? I would say I consider myself a pro-life Democrat, and they need to catch up, because most of America is pro-life.
If there's anyone else who can do anything to that.
Okay. From DC?
No, I was there all the time.
10790. This is a public sidewalk. We do this every Saturday. Why are some messages allowed and others are not? This is America.
Black preborn lives matter!
Black preborn lives matter!
Black preborn lives matter!
Black preborn lives matter! Black preborn lives matter! Lives matter! Okay. Others are not. This is a free speech issue. We do this every Saturday. We've never had a problem before.
Somewhere in the phrase BLM, then you will go to jail, because that's not cool.
Some messages are allowed and others are not. We do this every Saturday. This is a public sidewalk.
I'm alive, we backed blue 100%. And this is crazy to know that we're getting censored because of what we believe and that we hate racism. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What's wrong with our messaging? public sidewalk. We are here every Saturday.
You guys want to join in or? Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to join in?
Okay, I'll start. Lord, this is a disappointing thing, and we cry to you, and we ask that your will be done in this situation. We ask that this will show to the world the importance of this message, that people are working so hard to censor it, how important Black preborn lives are to us, that people defending them would go to jail. Lord, please give us consolation. Please protect the ones arrested. Please give everyone peace amidst the fear. Please protect all of us. Please bless the police officers who it's not their choice. They're just following orders. Please heal everyone's heart. Please make this a story of conversion. Please protect everyone in the pro-life movement. Please protect and change the hearts of everyone in the pro-choice movement. And please make this a loud message to the world of how important protecting life is to us. Please show the world our true hearts, that they're tender, that they're not hard, that we do this for the love of your children and for the love of you. Again, please give us consolation and protection, and please bless the police officers and give them that they would be able to forgive themselves if they carry any guilt, and that God's will would prevail in this situation, and that freedom and justice and free speech would be preserved and would triumph at the end of the day. Again, Lord, please console all our hearts in this hard time. And please protect everyone in this situation. And please give your consolation and your grace to everyone.
It will be gone in 24 hours, as soon as it rains. But the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, is continuing her reign of Nazi-like tactics by having a dozen officers here who should be out patrolling the streets of Washington to keep us safe as we have an ever-increasing murder rate, but she wastes my tax dollars. I live here in D.C. She's wasting my tax dollars by having all of these officers and all of these vehicles here when they should be out tracking down murderers and rapists and drug dealers. The District of Columbia is descending into Nazism, and we need to stand up and stop this.
So a couple months ago, there were protests in D.C. immediately.
Students for life. Black preborn lives matter. Trouble up, see. My sorrow. If we want to, yeah, we can. Okay, we can pull it out and use it. It's actually free, but two of them won't turn on. So there's one that works. I don't know. I just two won't turn on. Yes, it could be my fault. I've never used to go for it before. I've talked to her. I've talked to her. Stop.
So, what brought you out here today, sir?
What brought me out here today was I was informed that there was going to be a demonstration in front of this Planned Parenthood facility, which, by the way, if you look just over in this direction, there is a public charter school across the street from a killing center, from an abortuary. Across the street from an abortuary is a public charter school. So I came here to join with these Students for Life to say that all Black lives matter. All Black lives matter, especially preborn Black lives, because the abortion industry has actively killed over 20 million Black babies. And when you consider that that first baby aborted in 1973 by now would have been a grandparent, we are now working on our third generation of missing babies simply because Planned Parenthood is allowed to carry out the genocidal practices of Margaret Sanger. So I came here to join these students in their message, which is a message of life, it is a message of love, it is a message of hope.
And so, can you describe what just happened earlier, just about 20 minutes ago, and what you think about it?
Well, 20 minutes ago, two students wrote on the sidewalk in front of the Planned Parenthood facility here in chalk. They wrote in chalk. We had been informed by the commanding officer on site that if we did this, there was a possibility that we would be arrested. So these two students wrote on the sidewalk in chalk, and they were arrested. These students have been coming here for months. These students have been writing on the sidewalk in front of this abortuary for months, and no one had ever been arrested until today. Why? Because when they requested a permit to come out here, they were told that they couldn't write anything in the street or on the sidewalk under district law because it would be considered defacing public and or private property. Forget the fact that we have Black Lives Matter and defund the police written downtown, but these students couldn't write in chalk, but those writings in the street are in permanent paint. This is a clear violation of the United States Constitution, the First Amendment to that Constitution, and I sincerely hope that the students who were arrested sue.
And what do you think about the messaging of the organizers and the protesters of Black Lives Matter?
Well, it's very clear that to Black Lives Matter, they're only referring to a subset of Black lives. Black Lives Matter, the organization, doesn't care if you are killed in an abortuary. Black Lives Matter as an organization doesn't care if a Black man is killed by another Black man. The only thing Black Lives Matter, the organization, cares about is if a Black man is killed by a white cop. We were here to give the message, the true message, that Black Lives Matter, because all, in capital letters, all Black.
And if you had an opportunity to speak with Democrats, right, who really get behind the Black Lives Matter organizers and their protests, what would you say to them?
Well, I have had those conversations with people who support the Black Lives Matter organization. And what I do is I point them to Black Lives Matter website. And anyone who's viewing this, I urge you to go to the Black Lives Matter website because they will tell you what they are about. They are not about Black men. They are about promoting homosexuality. They are about promoting transsexuality. They are about dismantling the nuclear family. They are about marginalizing heterosexual black men in the family. So for anyone who's watching, if you haven't checked out Black Lives Matter's website, go check it out for yourself. Now, if you choose to continue to follow them, that's your business. But if you are a God-loving person, when you read what they stand for, there is no way you will continue to support that organization.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you could change the students to like
There's only 2 camera crews right now. And you are with Breitbart?
Where's my? I have
Good, how about you, man? Yeah.
What? Oh, thank you.
open and like I forgot.
Who's East on the phone? Go to the Frederick Douglass Foundation, which I wonder if they're back.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah.
This is their
Okay.
No, don't do that. That's the last thing we need.
That's a hate.
We're all going down. Alright, we're wrangling the students to figure out how to get everybody over there. It doesn't matter because it's not going to be straight on this grass.
Hey, so what brought you here today?
We're here to protest the mass slaughter of innocent black lives. We believe that if Black Lives Matter, that every black life should matter, and that includes the lives of the preborn. But unfortunately here today, the mayor has decided to stand against the lives of the preborn and decided to have the police out here to take a man who was out here protesting, exercising his First Amendment rights. All he did was chalk the ground out here, and immediately the police came and rounded him up. I don't know what that says about the state of our republic, but I think that's a tragedy that's happening right now.
And what do you think about the sort of, it seems like a hypocrisy between people expressing their First Amendment rights on public property, as sidewalks are public property, with the difficulty some people, conservatives or people with different messages other than Black Lives Matter have had compared to the Black Lives Matter being painted in DC and other places.
Right. I think there's a lot of blatant hypocrisy. I think it's unfortunate that this topic has to be politicized at all. I think that the mandate of the Constitution that all men are equal, and that Planned Parenthood specifically goes out in areas of minorities in order to directly target the people of minorities for abortions, for Margaret Sanger said she was trying to exterminate the black race early. We can see that apparently if you're regular Black Lives Matter, and you throwing rocks and stones and burning your own towns to the ground, that it doesn't matter. But if you're here peacefully protesting, then that means we can control you, apparently.
Now, you guys, have you been here? I know they've been doing this previous weeks.
Right, every Saturday.
Have you been here in past weeks?
No, this is my first time coming out. We heard about the event and we wanted to show support. And we just didn't expect it to go down like this. Apparently this is the first time that they've had this trouble. Yeah, it's the first time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So guys, if you're watching, I know it's kind of hard to see. It's a letter chalk, but two protesters of Planned Parenthood were writing out in sidewalk chalk, "Black Preborn Lives Matter." They only got to the word "born" here before they were arrested by police. The police approached them basically as soon as they started to write on the sidewalk with sidewalk chalk. Now, they were warned that if they did this, they would be arrested, and they were arrested promptly.
Standing here in front of the Planned Parenthood in Washington, D.C. The last Facebook Live that I did a couple of months ago, I was here in front of the Planned Parenthood. We also have some other folks that are here from Students for Life, some other groups. So I just want to explain a little bit.
I know protesters seem to be prepping up to take some action. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing. I think they're going to be holding the different letters, spelling out "Black Preborn Lives Matter," I'm assuming. And then maybe they'll go out in the street and they'll do it. We'll see what happens.
We shall let you get going. We will keep you updated.
That's good. They will actually paint or chalk in the sidewalk. And so we wanted to do that this morning. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining. This is just a quick announcement. So anyway, we had
And then we have some of our speakers here, but I'll ask them.
All right, so we're live right now at Breitbart News.
Sure. Hi.
Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Stephanie Stone. I'm the Capital Area Regional Coordinator with Students for Life. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
And so we're live right now. Could you tell us what happened here earlier today?
It was so bizarre. I mean, we're out here outside of Planned Parenthood in DC. We're here every week, every single Saturday, doing peaceful sidewalk prayer. You know, we sidewalk chalk loving messages. Literally every week we're out here. And, you know, a student of ours and a few other people were just sidewalk chalking, and the police arrested them for peacefully sidewalk chalking on a public sidewalk. I mean, I've never seen that happen before, and it's truly a free speech issue. It's a human rights issue, and it's very concerning.
Now, you guys have been coming here several weeks beforehand, right?
Sure.
Can you just talk about what you guys have been up to and how long you've been doing this and why?
Sure. So, I mean, as far as the sidewalk prayer goes, usually we'll come out, we do some peaceful prayer, we, you know, give women like life-affirming, loving options. So in case they don't, you know, they want to choose life, we always want to be there for women so they have all the resources that they need to choose life. Now, today is a little bit different. Today, we wanted to make a stand and say Black Preborn Lives Matter, because Planned Parenthood targets Black lives every single day, and that's why we're out here today. And we were just going to make a peaceful statement. You know, this we have free speech. We really want to stand up for human rights that are not being heard here.
and it was completely peaceful, and 2 people were arrested for absolutely no reason. So.
And what do you think about Black Lives Matter, the organization and the protesters that support it? How do you feel like they're holding up with the messaging, their messaging?
Their messaging. I think it's inconsistent. Black Lives Matter as an organization is pro-choice. And abortion, Planned Parenthood targets Black lives. That's not very consistent. So we're simply out here to say that Black preborn lives matter as well. And obviously Black lives matter, all lives matter, but the organization is pro-choice. And to me, that makes no sense because these are Black lives that are being lost every single day. And it's thousands. So it's crazy to me. And that's why we're out here. We wanted to make a stand. Like everyone else, we wanted to throw our voice in there and make a stand for these lives that are being lost, that they're voiceless lives. And that's why we're out here. And just wanted to have a peaceful day that we were out here and making a stand for life. But unfortunately, some messages are allowed and some messages are not.
And how long have you guys been going in front of Planned Parenthood and protesting them? And what usually do you do in order to do that?
So it's not so much like a protest all the time. Usually we're doing peaceful prayer or sidewalk counseling. We're out here for the women. We want to give them, little blessing bags or an opportunity to go to a life-affirming resources like a pregnancy resource center. So that's mainly what we're doing out here. We want to write loving messages. So if women feel like maybe they can choose life, maybe we can get them some life-affirming resources. That's mainly what we're doing out here when we come out here. We've been doing it for years. Sidewalk counseling has been a thing pretty much since Roe v. Wade. So, that's really our messaging out here most weekends that we're out here, is that you don't have to choose abortion. We love you. People love you. They want to take care of you and they want to help you to choose life. And that's the whole point of sidewalk counseling. But yeah, so that's mainly what we do out here.
And if you had a message, if you had an opportunity to speak with Democrat leaders who are heavily behind Black Lives Matter, the organization, what would you say to them?
I would say, let's be consistent. All Black lives matter. Black preborn lives matter as well. So let's sit down, and when you're willing to talk about that, we're all here and ready and waiting to talk about it a little bit more. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I was like, you know what, I'll come.
Have you guys definitely Yeah. My church is in that position too. We opened it at capacity, and nobody really comes anyway. But it helps with the streaming. So
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, no, we just had a very last coastal working healing class.
Hey, Steph, can I get a Okay, so you closed up that session too. Okay.
It's not terribly hot.
Yeah.
I'm Cheryl in Holloway.
My friend was just having a phone. I wanted to get one for him.
Not yet. That's crazy. People can wear masks and they're in us too. Yeah, it's definitely wave through, so it's I would
How did you guys find out?
So should we shuttle
Fabulous. It's like, if you don't see a lot of, I went to the March for Life in January. Like, yeah.
All right, guys. So they're planning an event around 10 a.m. They're going to be marching. So if you listen early in the stream, I think you can get a little bit more info from them if that's what you're looking for. But we're going to wrap this stream right here. Things have quieted down, but if you're watching earlier, what you witnessed was two young people, a girl and a guy, getting arrested for writing in sidewalk chalk. I know it's a little hard to see because it's bright out here. Black preborn lives matter. I don't know if I've ever heard of a case like that before, but it was pretty wild to witness. We're going to wrap the stream here. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you want this to get out, please share it. Like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to us there. This is Matt Purdy, and we're going to tune out right now. Thank you so much for watching.